Please welcome Margot Robbie. You love it?
Yes. I was just saying backstage, I'm like, it's such a fun show, your show. Like, I feel like...
It is. Yeah, well, you can come here anytime you want. You're on the lot. You have an office on the lot, and you've never been here.
I know. I don't
why
know
not?
Why. I don't know why. I
don't understand.
Hop over all the time now.
You can anytime. Where is your? Are you close to here?
Yeah, we're like just a quick walk.
Oh, well, yeah. Come by and visit anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is we know each other. You just haven't been on the show.
Yes.
Can you explain to people, because I'd rather hear your version. I've never heard your version of the story, but tell people how we know each other.
How we met. I'm scared because my husband's gonna kill me for telling this story, but it's my favorite story ever, and it's the story of how Ellen and I met. So Tom and I, my husband, were on our honeymoon, which we delayed because we shot I, Tonya at the beginning of the year and last year, and we had just gotten married, but we had to put off the honeymoon part, and so we go to Tahiti, and we'd gone to this island where you kind of live like Robinson Crusoe, like it's like there's just like a shack that you stay in, and there's no electricity and there's no mirrors or anything like that. So we'd been there for 4 days, and then the last bit of the honeymoon was like a really nice hotel, like a really luxury. It was lovely. And so we get there, but it's raining, and we're like, oh, well, you know, we by the way look disgusting because we haven't seen our own reflections in 4 days, and so we don't
By
know
the way, they did not.
We're like, oh, what can we do here when it's raining? And they're like, oh, you know, there's a lovely spa, or there's the gym, and we're like, oh, I don't really want to work out, but I guess we could do like something at the gym. And so we get changed to go to the gym, and Tom puts on these shorts that are like his oldest gym shorts, and they're tiny, and they're like really short, and there's nothing underneath, so they're, you know, he gets on his bicycle to ride there, and I was like, whoa! I was like, babe, I was like, you cannot wear those shorts. They're like, you know, I can see everything. And he was like, oh, come on, who are we gonna run into? I mean, who's gonna be here? And I was like, you're right. I mean, we'd just been on an island where no one else was for so long, so I was like, yeah, you're right. I mean, who are we gonna see? And so we walk into the gym, and running on a treadmill is Ellen. And then on the treadmill next to her is Portia, her wife. So Ellen looks over and she was like,
wait, and then?
Hey, no.
All right, go ahead.
It's not even the best bit, but already Tom and I are like, oh my God. And Tom's face is like just gone white, and you're like, hi. And I was like, oh my gosh, Ellen, so lovely to meet you. And you're like, this is my wife, Portia. I was like, lovely to meet you, Portia. I was already starstruck. And then you're like, have you met Obama? And we were like, what? And standing next to them is former President Barack Obama. I'm not kidding. In a gym that is tiny.
The gym was the size of this stage.
Like, even smaller. It was a very confined space. And we then had to do this whole, like...
Oh, my God.
We had to do this whole, like, class, like this stretching class, but Tom, meanwhile, is trying to, like, not reveal anything. And he's dying, and I'm crying so much, I'm about to crack a rib. And it's literally, this gym instructor keeps saying to Tom, lunge, you're not lunging. And Tom's like trying to lunge cross-legged, and Obama's like stepping over his legs to put his weights back, and like the whole thing was so absurd. It was
hilarious. I mean, when she says short shorts, they were, I'm not exaggerating, they were to here and wide, like really wide. So
on a bicycle,
when he was lunging, we're like, it was. And then he's on the ground at one point and like stretching. And this part, we're like, oh my God, like.
We literally got to the end of the class and we're doing like a last stretch, which was legs out. And Tom's now got a towel on his crotch, trying to be modest, and his face just says it all. He's like, I'm gonna kill myself, the worst day of my life. And Ellen looks over and goes, boy, those were the wrong shorts to wear today.
Oh my God. It was hilarious. And then, like 2 days later,
Way to break
we
the
get
ice.
laundry, and I start looking through it. I was like, this is the wrong. It's a small. There's only like 10 cabins.
Yeah,
but,
it's
and I was
tiny.
like, this is not our laundry. And then I come across pink shorts. I was like, oh, I know who's the. I got Tom's shorts, and no, I know where these go.
Oh my God.
But I mean, so Obama was, so he was there. He happened to be there writing his book, and so we were working out with him every day. And when you walked in, and he's in those shorts, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be hilarious. This is.
It was honestly one of the funniest things
Yeah.
that's ever.
But he's a huge fan of yours, Obama.
I obviously assumed that he would have no idea who I was, but when I walked in, you're like, oh, do you know Obama? I was like, no. I was like, hello, sir. I don't know what to call it. And he was like, hello, yeah. And he goes, you're a very talented actress. And I was like, oh my God, Obama knows who I am. And he's like, we were just talking about you the other night. I was like, you were? What the hell?
Yeah. No, he's
crazy.
up on, he knows what's going on.
He's up with it.
All right,
He's
well,
so
I got
nice.
you and Tom a gift. I didn't know he'd be here today,
No.
but just so it doesn't happen again. And there's
Oh my God.
there's some mesh in here to hold it all together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're back with Margot Robbie, who produced and stars in I, Tonya, and I really mean it. It's one of my favorite movies out this year, and probably going to remain one of my favorite movies ever. I thought it was done so well. The music is fantastic because of the era. It's just great music. And what a great, I didn't even know you had done that when we saw each other on the island, that you had just finished that.
Just finished it.
Wow.
We were so in need of a holiday by that point. It was...
So you obviously have skated before, because you skate in this movie.
I played ice hockey when I first moved to America, just briefly, but other than that, I hadn't done any skating, so I did like a ton of training.
Yeah, because ice hockey, you probably don't do the same pirouettes.
Not at all. And,
Yeah.
and ice hockey skates, I didn't know this, but ice hockey skates are totally different to figure skating skates, because figure skating skates have the toe pick at the front, and yeah, so I just face planted like time after time until I was like, okay, toe pick, remember there's a toe pick.
Did you get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, bumps and bruises for sure, and like the bloodiest blisters you've ever seen, but then I herniated a disc in my neck. But
Wow.
other than that, it was all good.
And then you had to keep skating after you herniated a disc?
Well, yeah, because I'm a producer on the film.
Right.
It was like, I think if I was just an actor on the film, I would have been like, all right, I'm checking in to like, you know, probably get this looked at now. But I was like, no, we got to get shooting, so let's just keep going.
Wow. Well, I mean, really, what a great job that is. And then I heard, because Allison was here talking about it, that the triple, what's it called that she
Triple
did?
axel.
Triple axel. That she was the only one who ever did it. So you couldn't
Yeah.
even find anyone to do that in the movie.
No, we couldn't get any of our skate doubles or anyone to do a triple axel, because they're still an incredibly hard thing. I think 6 women in the world have done it since she did it 25 years ago. So it was a huge athletic achievement.
Yeah,
that
she was an
pulled off.
incredible athlete. She was an incredible skater.
Very powerful skater.
And when you see this movie, I don't know if you remember the story, but it'll all come back to you if you'll remember bits and pieces. But I look at it and I come away thinking she didn't really know that was going to happen.
Yeah. No, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I mean, the movie doesn't say, like, this is Tonya's version of events, so you've got a lot of unreliable narrators and people giving their version of events, and of course you hear Tonya's. But the irony, of course, is that they all contradict each other and everyone has their own version of the truth.
Yeah, it's done very well, like when you're going back to the people and interviewing, you know, to camera, like what their version is.
Yeah.
And so Tonya has had her life was extremely difficult and had a mother that was troubled, to say the least,
Yeah.
and who Allison Janney plays and who she just won a Golden Globe for.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, it's just brilliant.
She's amazing. I
Yeah.
think one reporter said she's the meanest mum since Precious. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
She's up there
Yeah,
with
she's
Mean
up
Mom.
there,
But you were fantastic also, because you're not just acting in it, but you're portraying somebody who's real, and you're skating, which is also difficult to do.
So much harder than I thought it was going to be. But
Yeah.
no, it was so fun. It was great. And, you know, everyone kind of like rolled up this, you know, it was an indie film, and we had 31 days to do it in, and, you know, a limited budget, of course, because it's the way it is with those films. But everyone just kind of like rolled up their sleeves and got into it. And you know, our costume department are like hand sewing things, and you know, everyone just committed to it and loved it, and it was great fun.
Yeah, the outfits that Tonya wore versus Nancy Kerrigan and
Yeah.
everything too. Well, you'll be producing lots more films, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you'll be able to buy longer shorts for your husband, so that's good.